Woo! All right, all right, all right. Let's do it. Okay, this is a practice worksheet, solving equations with variables on both sides. If you are a teacher, a parent, or a student, or anyone who just wants to get extra practice, there is a PDF version of this in English and Spanish in the description. Go ahead and copy and paste that into a URL and download it, print it, do it, and come on back and see how you're done. All right, let's do it. Okay, so notice we're solving this equation, and we have variables on both sides. That would be the variable term, and that would be the variable term. And then we also have two other terms, and those two other terms are constant terms. Remember, what I do to one side of the equation, I gotta do to the other. So when I look at this, I'm going to go ahead and move those positive 6n's over. By the way, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. 2 of the terms are variable terms. 2 of the terms are constant terms. I'm going to move all of these variables over with these. When you move an entire term, you add and subtract. So the opposite of addition is subtraction. So I'm going to go ahead and do that inverse operation. Remember, you got to do it to both sides. Simplify. That's 3n. Plus 14 equals 20. Okay, so I've got all my variables on the left. Now remember, I still have these constants that are floating on both sides. So I'm going to move those around. I'm going to go ahead and subtract that 14, because when you move an entire term, you add or subtract. That gives me a whole lot of 3n equals 6. Okay, now I don't want to move the entire term. I just want to move the part of the term. So when you want to move part of a term, you add and you divide and multiply. So now I'm going to divide by 3 and divide by 3. And I get n equals 2. All right? So I believe that's my answer. But before I put it there, I'm going to check. So how do you check? Well, you go to your original equation. So I'm going to go to 9n plus 14 equals 20 plus 6n. And I'm going to rewrite it. And everywhere I see an n, I'm going to replace it with a 2. And then I'm going to simplify both sides to see if they match up. Okay, so 9 times 2 is 18 plus 14. Do not do inverse operations when you're checking. You only simplify each side. So that means perform the order of operations on both sides and then see if they match. Notice 6 times 2 is 12. Add those up, boom. If they equal the same number, that means you got that answer. All right, good job. Let's keep going. Okay, again, we have variables on both sides, but we also have this other thing going on. And that is that we have like terms. So notice those are like terms on the right-hand side. So I'm going to deal with that first. So this is 3x minus 8 equals 5x. Positive 13 minus 7 is plus 6. Okay? So always simplify the left and the right side of the equal symbol before you do inverse operations. All right, now I'm going to move my variables to the left. So I'm going to subtract 5x, subtract 5x. Remember, we have variable terms right here and right here. And then we have these constant terms. And those are right here and right here. So I need to get the yellow ones together, and I need to get the pink ones together. And I always try to get the yellow ones on the left when it looks possible. So 3 minus 5 is negative 2. Good, good, good. Negative 2. And don't forget you have a category of x. Minus 8 equals 6. All right, inverse operation. Plus 8, plus 8. So I have negative 2x. I'm going to go up here. That's 8. I have negative 2x equals 14. And then I'm going to divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. And I get x equals negative 7. All right, let's check it. All right, so to check it, I'm going to go to the original equation. I'm not going to use the simplified equation. I always go to the original. And I'm going to put in this value right here. So everywhere I see an x, I'm going to replace it with negative 7, like so. Okay, simplify the left, multiply those together. simplify the right, multiply those together, so I'm performing the order of operations, add those up, add these up. This equals negative 35 plus 13 is negative 22. And then combine the rest here, and you get negative 29. Check. So I'm going to write it. X equals negative 7. Let's go. All right, number 3. This is going great. Going great. All right, again, I like to identify my variable terms and my constant terms. So there's a constant term, there's a constant term, there's a constant term. Notice how I always bring the operation with it. You got to have that, right? The operation in front of a term stays with it, just like that. All right, I got some simplification to do because I got like colors on the same side of the equal symbol. So I can combine these terms. Negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. And then I have minus 3. That is not like that. Different categories. N category, constant category. And then I have 5 n's. And then negative 11, that's why you got to take this with it because it goes with it. Plus 22 is plus 11. Okay, now I'm going to start shifting things around because notice I have variables and I have constants. So let's do some inverse operations. So I'm going to subtract 5n. I always, I'm not always, but 95% of the time, I like to put my variables on the left. Math is about good habits, so keep those good habits. Okay, now I'm going to inverse operation that constant over. So the opposite of a minus 3 is a positive 3. Then I'm going to rewrite it. And then I'm going to go up here, if that's I. Now I'm going to divide both sides by that negative 7. It's called the coefficient. And I get n equals negative 2. Okay, let's check it. So I'm going to go to the original equation. Negative 8, open a parenthesis. I'll put that value in. But I'm going to go ahead and write it all first. 6, open a parenthesis, equals 5, open a parenthesis, minus 11 plus 22. So I use the original equation when I check, not the simplified. Now everywhere I see a parenthesis, that was where a variable was. So I'm going to put negative 2, and negative 2. Boy, that's not very good. All right, so that's a negative 2 in there. And that's a negative 2, and that's a negative 2. All right, let's multiply. Negative times a negative is a positive. Positive times a negative is a negative. Equals positive times a negative is a negative. All right, if I add all these up, I get 13 minus 12. And this gives me negative 21 plus 22 because I combine those and I combine those. Combine those, I get 1 equals 1. Woo, that checks. All right, you're doing great, you're doing great. Let's keep going. This one's a doozy. Again, I'm going to highlight all of these values. So I'm going to go through and highlight my variable terms. Boom, chaka-boom, chaka-boom. And I'm going to go through and highlight my constant terms. Boom, chaka-boom, chaka-boom. All right, now I'm going to simplify. So notice on the left side of the equal symbol, I can do 9 minus 4. That's the same category, so then I combine the count. Keep the category the same. The category is y. There's my plus 2. 6y stays. Negative 7, because again, this goes with that. Plus 9 is dose. Okay, let's shift. So now I'm going to subtract 6y from both sides. And now I'm going to simplify. 5 minus 6 is negative 1. Plus 2 equals, this goes to 0. That's what I wanted. Oh, this is tricky. Subtract 2. Boom. Simplify. Negative 1y equals 0. Now don't panic. 0 is a number. Just keep going. Divide by negative 1. Divide by negative 1. And 0 divided by negative 1 is 0. All right, let's check it. 9 times plus 2 minus 4 times equals 6 times minus 7 plus 9. Okay, see if I can do this better this time. that's not bad. That's not bad. This is an easy multiplication. That's 0. That's an easy multiplication. That's 0. That's an easy multiplication. There's a lot of zeros. Okay, let's add them up now. This ends up being dose. Negative 7 plus 9 is dose. Check. Okay, that's it. Y equals 0. Woo! Let's go. Good job, everybody. Good job. Have a great day. Stay strong. Come on back. Don't forget to give a like, subscribe, right? And tell your friends. Okay, bye-bye.